Very good morning and a very warm welcome to StudyIQ. I am Prashant Mamani. I hope you all are enjoying your Sunday morning, dear friends. Today is 27th May. Let's see what we have got in the Hindu today. And I have got two topics for you. Very important topic. The first one is associated with heat wave. The second one is associated with the public health. And here we are going to talk about nurses, right? But before that, let's have a positive start. William Barclay says that there are two great days in a person's life. The first one is the day when we are born, and the second one is the day we discover why we are born on this world. Or you can say that the day on which we find the purpose of our life. These are the two great days in a person's life. With this, dear friends, let's start our discussion with heat waves. Now, if you go through 2016 and 17, then we find that these 2 years have been the hottest years in record so far around the world. At present, when we are having this discussion, you know, the things going on in Oman and things going on in Yemen. I already talked about this Socotra Island. Remember this name, Socotra Island of Yemen, right? You find it in Arabian Sea, not far from Gulf of Aden. This havoc was created by this tropical cyclone, and of course in Oman, do you know this thing that the rainfall that Oman gets in 2 years, it has received in 24 hours. So can you imagine how bad it would be in Oman at present? The other thing is, dear friends, we know this tropical cyclones, its intensity, the way, you know, if you go back to 2015 or 16, 17, and the starting of 18, you will find around the world something has happened, right, associated with this sort of natural disasters. And all these natural disasters, their intensity, their frequency, all these things are associated with CC, that is climate change. Now, these are the things, these are bigger things, and we know that they are destructive. But what about other silent things that are going on in background? Like, I'll give you a couple of examples, like wheat, right? Wheat is a temperature sensitive crop. If temperature goes up, the production or the overall crop production will come down, and this will create economic distress for already distressed farmers of our country. The second thing is milk production can come down because cattle as well, they feel this stress of excessive heat. What about hydro power projects? We spend huge amount of money for creating hydropower projects. We pass many times, you know, canals and all these things from core areas and jungles and things like that. But when you find that, say for example, rivers like Kaveri, they carry water for only 3 to 4 months, then this investment is of no use. And the second thing is the power production will come down. When you have excessive heat wave or the temperature is up, naturally we are going to use more of our fans and air condition and all these things. So we would require more power during summer times. And when your production is down and demand is high, so prices will go up. Apart from that, you find people dying because of this thing. In 2015 alone, we saw that 2,241 people in India passed away because of this heat wave. South Asia particularly is already under this danger zone because of the way we are located. We are not far from equator, and you know, this actual equator, you know, with this sun, ITCZ, it goes up a little bit in the summertime, and South Asian region faces this extra heat. Apart from that, if we talk about our country, India, then what we find here at macro level, that tree covers are coming down, and paved surfaces like concrete jungles are expanding, and these natural jungles are shrinking. Even in our city area, you know, we don't find tree covers that much that they should be. Means here and there for beautification we do find it, but it's still not enough to protect us, to protect or provide us this shade as well as absorb this carbon dioxide. So what can be done about it? We need to do, it's not just about increasing tree cover. We have to have a multi-pronged strategy. We need to bring more electronic vehicles, private as well as public transportation. We need to sort out our industries, those industries that are polluting. We should get rid of them or adopt all those technologies through which we can mitigate or we can reduce or eliminate this greenhouse gas production, because at current emission level, heat wave could increase by 75%. Government has started providing financial as well as infrastructural resources, but still in the city area, they are not enough. If you are living in village, then you would be aware about this thing. First of all, you have more trees and green cover. Apart from that, you have this social fabric. You can knock doors of any people in a village and they will provide you water and shade and things like that. This is what I have seen. Now, it could be different in different parts of our country, but generally speaking, right, in village, even today, you find this, the people are still, they do help each other. Generally, people know each other as well. They will have something and something in common, They don't have this Facebook, means even now they do, but their Facebook is this social connection. They know each other from father's or mother's name, etc. Right, so over there you can get some support from the community or your citizens, but in city area, the way that people from different parts of our country, they come here, they are literally unknown to each other. So it is the government that has to step in. Nowadays, we find that IMD is providing this advisories as well as forecast of 15 days and regular updates are provided. This helps. This is a very important thing, but it is not enough. We need to set up this emergency response centers. We need to provide cooling centers. Water distribution should be there. Cold water particularly. You should have this hospitals, right? The beds and everything. They should be in standby mode. And ambulances as well should carry this first aid, proper ice packs and other items, ORS and other things. Now, in city area or around our country, right, these heat waves are going to go up, because at present it doesn't look that we would be able to control this carbon emission and concrete jungle expansion and things like that. So what we can do as human beings, as citizens, we can, as a community, help each other. We can teach and spread this message about heat waves, and this will protect people, particularly those people who have to work outdoors, even in this summertime, this you can say unbearable summertime. They have to work outdoor, and they are the ones who are in high risk category. So we can shift working hours. We can make it either in early morning or after evening time. Construction and other things can take place under artificial light as well. It may create problems for neighbors, but we have to think about life of these people as well, because they cannot, it's not that if their day work is called off, or if there is an off for the day, then they will get money for it. Not at all. They won't get anything if they don't work. So we have to keep in mind their conditions as well, and government as well as society should come up, and we should gather our tools and other things. Whatever we can do, we should do it. Protect animals and people around us. With this, dear friends, good news for all of you guys. Up to 50% discount is available on our pen drive and tablet courses. This is going to last till tomorrow. So today and tomorrow, these are 2 days that you have got in your hand to make the most out of this 50% discount. I have a couple of questions for you guys. It's a sort of sample question that you will find in our test series. With this, if you have any queries, feel free to give us a call on the numbers that you can see on your screen, and you can download the PDF of today's discussion from my Facebook page and Twitter handle. Don't forget to hit the like button and do share this lecture with other people as well. Now, the lady that you can see on your screen, her name is Sister Linney. Sister Linney, it's very sad thing that she passed away. She was helping a family of 3 who basically were suffering from this Nipah virus, and she was looking after them as a nurse. Recently, President of our country, Mr. Ramnath Kovind, said this thing that nurses are nation builders, because they cater their services in remote part or the most remotest part of our country. They do look after the patients. They save breadwinners and family members of other people. So they play a very important role in a person's life, and as far as our public health system is concerned, they play a very pivotal role. Now, the lady here, Sister Linney, she has got 2 young sons. You can see them on screen, and she wrote a letter to her husband as well when she got this Nipah virus. It is very saddening, and it has stirred many hearts as well. Now, this itself indicates that Ramnath Kovindji was right when he said that nurses are nation builders. This is a testimony of her heroism. It's not just about her heroism. She represents all the brave nurses in our country. They work round the clock. They are lifesavers, of course, and sustainers. They play a very important role as a supporting staff for doctors, and it's very sad that just doctors, the sad thing is that just doctors get all this respect in our society. Nurses, they don't get that much respect as they should. And it's not just about respect, even their remuneration, even the money that they are paid is not enough. They are lifesavers. They play, with their own life. You can see here in this case that she risked her own life to save someone else. So you can see this, or you can easily argue that most of the nurses around our country, right, they are there not because of force. They are there because this is something that they really enjoy, right? They help. They love helping some other people, and this is a very beautiful thing. This is a quality of humanity here itself. So we cannot expect martyrdom. We don't want to see this sort of incidents, right? We need to make these services a bit more professional. We need to provide them all this necessary gears that they have to have if they are operating in this sort of conditions. The other thing is it was in 2016 when Supreme Court intervened. After that, they started getting their right amount of pay and perks and working condition. Earlier on, it was very bad. Even today, in many hospitals, you find that their working condition is not as it should be. It should be much better. The pay should be a bit more. And this is the reason why we find that nurses in our country, they are flying abroad and they are doing very well over there, because they get respect as well as remuneration they deserve in different parts of the world. We have seen this thing in many countries. Remember the case of Iraq. You have other African countries where they are winning awards and everything because they are good. And the sad thing is, in our country, we have shortage of medical staff. And one of the reasons is that we are not able to provide them a proper platform. And this is the only reason. Proper pay, respect from society, and good working condition can change and bring back our nurses, or will motivate other girls and boys to be a nurse or a medical support staff. Now, if we go through countries like USA, UK, Australia, the Netherlands, what we find here or over there is that they have nurse practitioner track. What nurse practitioner track is all about? Let me give you a small example. Do you know, in our country, you have, say for example, two scenarios. You have a nurse who has got 20 years or 20-year plus experience working in the ground, and then you have a doctor who has got just 6 months of experience. He has just finished his studies, and he has, just 6 months since he is out there in medical world. Here, all the decisions will be taken by doctor. Even a nurse who has got 20 years of work experience, he won't be able to take even one decision as per rules and regulation in our country. And this is a sad thing. What they do there in these countries is that they have this nurse practitioner program. So they train these nurses, right? They provide them expertise. They provide or teach them health management. Of course, they have practical knowledge, but other knowledge is provided to them. And with this, nurses are made or upgraded. They have both practical plus theoretical knowledge, and then they can take important decisions, right? I'm not saying that they will operate on people and things like that, but at least fever, someone is facing sodium, shortage and other things, malaria. So you can rely on nurses, and these countries, they have proved that this thing is possible. Of course, the whole process of making doctors will take time. Nurses courses are a bit shorter compared to doctors, and because of this practical experience that they have, if we train them, then we can change the face of our primary care, and with this we can enter into a new world of curative care as well. This Ayushman Bharat cannot be successful if we are just going to rely on doctors. We have to upgrade our medical staff as well. With this, dear friends, let's move on to important news item. The country that you can see on your screen, this one is, this Union Jack country is United Kingdom. You have 4 countries coming together to form this UK. You have England, you have Scotland, you have Wales, and then you have Northern Ireland. This is the place, this is Northern Ireland. This is part of UK. Capital is Belfast. And then you have a country, right? This is another country altogether. This is Republic of Ireland, and the capital is Dublin. Dublin is famous for Dublin University, as well as it is a very beautiful city too. Now, why it is in news? Because there was a referendum in Ireland, and basically the lady that you can see on your screen, her name is Savita. Back in 2012, she passed away. She was facing some pregnancy related issue, and basically doctors said that the only way to save her life is to abort. But this thing was not executed because as per the constitution of Ireland, you cannot terminate a pregnancy, and this is the thing that caused the life of the lady here that you can see, Savita. She was basically from India and living in Ireland. So since then there was this big uproar, and finally you can say that this thing will go away. 66% backed repealing this constitutional ban on terminations of pregnancy. Moving on to another item, this is about Supreme Court's decision on FIR. Now, Supreme Court has clarified this thing. Basically, Karnataka High Court ordered this thing that before lodging an FIR, police have to write down things in their general diary. Now, Supreme Court has said this thing that Supreme Court has clarified and overturned this Karnataka's decision that it is not at all necessary that before filing FIR you have to write down everything in your general diary. General diary are there for your maintenance. It is there for your, who is in, who is out, means staff, right? How many people are there who are patrolling and things like that are noted down in this general diary. You don't need to, you can write down the figures of FIRs, but it's not mandatory that you write things in general diary first and then in FIR. This has been clarified by Supreme Court. Now, Sheikh Hasina, who is Prime Minister of Bangladesh, she was here, and Madam had a meeting with Prime Minister as well as Chief Minister of West Bengal. Both West Bengal and Bangladesh have decided to cheer and celebrate this cultural ties that state of our country and the neighbor country of our nation, Bangladesh, share with each other. They talked about Tista River as well. They said that we need to sort it out in peaceful manner. Apart from that, Rohingya issue was also taken up. We have talked about it in detail a couple of days ago. I provided you map and everything. And then you have this proposal from West Bengal Chief Minister that if things are all right with Bangladesh, then they would like to, West Bengal would like to set up a museum on Banga Bandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Remember, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman is father of Sheikh Hasina, and he's famously known as Banga Bandhu. Climate and traffic jam. Now, this is not about this road traffic jam. It is about jet stream traffic. Very interesting concept here. Traffic jams in the jet stream. This global air currents circling the earth results in unusual climate, like 2003's European heat wave, 2012's Hurricane Sandy. All these things, all these items are products of this climate and traffic jam, this traffic jam in jet stream. This is also called blocking process. Remember, many times you find this type of things as your MCQs. Then you have a good news from IIT Gandhinagar, Gujarat. They have developed a nano composite material which can convert environmental carbon monoxide into less toxic carbon dioxide. And they are using this graphene for converting this thing. This composite material is made up of graphene. So remember this item as well, important for your MCQ. Dear friends, a very, you can say, innovative thing is going to take place today. Prime Minister is going to inaugurate first smart and green highway of our country. And this smart and green highway, you find all these important details associated with it. It is solar powered, you have rain water harvesting facilities and all these things here. It will divert 50,000 vehicles per day. So it's a big thing. And you find other advertisement in the Hindu newspaper today, so you can have a quick glance over it. Now, South Korean leader Mr. Moon had a meeting with Mr. Kim because of this, there was this news that meeting, this 12th June big meeting between USA and North Korea will not take place. This was in news because of this military exercise and things like that. Yesterday we were talking about this thing, isn't it? So now both these leaders have met each other again, and the good thing is that hopefully they will come out with this, or this official meeting between Mr. Trump and Mr. Kim will take place. And if it does take place, then this will be good for the whole world. We want to see denuclearization of Korean Peninsula as well as the whole world. That's everything. These are your answers of yesterday's question. These are the two questions which I was talking about. They are part of our test series. This is the quality of questions that you get. So make the most out of this 50% discount and enjoy your studies, dear friends. Today is Sunday. I will see you all tomorrow. That is Monday. God bless you all. Jai Hind.